Afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today Thammasat University Library Online Seminar คุณวิน Dr. ยุทธพงศ์กลิ่นธงชัย He is an experienced researcher with a PhD and now he is a customer consultant from Elsevier, the biggest academic publishing company that provides famous databases such as Scientific or Scopus. Today, Kun Win will be discussing a very important topic for researchers, targeting journal to public manuscript and SDG. We will also have a Q&A section toward the end of the seminar, so please feel free to leave your questions in the chat box. Kun Win ka, I think we are ready now, so please start our seminar ka.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Juttapong Kitongshai or Kun Win, or you can call me like P-Win. Yeah, because I have already finished my PhD around like 4 years, so I can be your brother, something like that. So you can call me like P-Win. So I'm from the Elsevier. I am a customer consultant who can provide you about Scopus and Scientific as well as Mendeley. So if you have any problems for Scopus or Scientific, feel free to ask me any questions from that. So today our topics will be targeting journal to publish manuscript. This topic is quite like important for us because when we finish write some manuscript, we have to find a suitable journal to publish. But anyway, today we're going to talk about a little contents about SDG. How can we call SDG and what is that? What is this about SDG? But some of you may know, but some of you may not know. So we have to educate or learn together today. So I would like to share my my slide. So I'm not sure that should I like record or Kun May will record it or
Yes, of course.
okay. So okay, let me share my slide first. Okay, you may see my slide here. Okay. So I'm not sure the slide will be provided to the like attendees, right? Or when you register, you get the slide. I'm not sure. Kun May.
I
Do you
left
know? Sorry.
slide workshop page to chat box. You can check
Okay.
that chat box.
Okay. So does if anyone wants some slide presentation slide, right? You can take a look at the chat box and maybe you can download from that. So okay, today, right, we will talk about like targeting journal to publish manuscript. So if you have any questions, you feel free to send me an email. So my email will be the bottom of this slide. Okay, let's get started. So announcement, right? So any chat box or any question, you can reach out to me by typing in the chat box, or you can ask me in the last a couple of minutes of the workshop here. And the survey and handout will be provide you and record. You can ask the librarian, Kun May here as well. So this is our agenda today. So we will talk about the SDG and research and exploring and selecting Scopus journals. How can we choose which journal is suitable from your manuscript, right? And before submitting your manuscript, we have to know what we have to know. What is the good manuscript? What is the bad manuscript? So we will have to learn together here, right? And we also have like Elsevier supports. In Elsevier, right, we have some platform that can help you to choose the journal. So you can use that platform and ask the AI to help you to choose the journal as well. So and the last session will be Q&A. So today we will start with the SDGs. Okay, SDG and research. So today we will talk about the current world first, right? As you can see, we have a lot of like people that need some food. They're hungry, even like children from Africans or somewhere else in the world. So you can see they need some food from us. But how can we help them, right? Our role as a scientist or student, PhD student or master student, we can help them by doing research from the SDG, like SDG 1 or something like that. So you can see, you can look at their eyes, right? They ask you for a food, but what we can help them, just do your research and just eat what you can eat. Yeah. And when you look at in the bottom of the slide, right, you can see the education is not good enough. So here we have like iPad, we have laptops, we have mobile phone that's quite good, but they don't have any things. So how can we help them, right? You think about it. The like we cannot say that the education is not equality, right? It's not equal. Everyone like have the how to say have the money or the one who can support you with the different situations, like your parents can support you to study in master degree or PhD, but they don't have any chance, they don't have any choice, they just learn what they have. So our role to think about it, how can we help them to improve their life? Because nowadays we can leave no one behind. You can think about it. So after we think and we think about in the right hand side, you can see the like the climate, right? And the animals like these seals. You can look at these seals. They're stuck in the nets. Why? We have to ask yourself, do you love the world? Do you love the environment? Do you when you like consume some food or some drink, do you throw into the water or something like that? You have to tell yourself and talk to yourself, do you do something like this? If you do something like this which affect in a bad way to the world, please stop. Because nowadays we have to help each other. You can see like COVID, right? It's affect like domino, just from the one place and affect in allow the world. Even us, right? We have no education from that way. We have no food, we have no like power or something like that. Everything is stopped. So it means that what we can do, we can help the world by doing research and do something good for the world, right? So this is linked to the SDG. So what is the SDG? SDG is from United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We call SDG. So the goals will be 17 goals here and 169 targets. This is from the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. Challenge the global community to build a world where no one is left behind. It means that we cannot let no one, right? We have to walk together. Everyone have to grow together because we are in the world. So our role to save the world because the world need to be stay in the future, right? So this can be adopted in like 2015 as a part of the 2030 agendas for sustainable development. The SDG comprise of 17 goals and associated with 169 targets as the area considered of critical importance for humanity. So it means that we help each other. You help that. If you can help this, you just help this. So this is the SDG, the things that help the world, help everything, help no, help animals, help humanity, help environment. So everything has to go together, right? So if you look at this is the 17th SDG with the different SDG. We start from the SDG, like SDG 1, right? No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality of education, gender equality, clean water, and sanitations, something like that. It's something that we can help. It's near, it's near our life, right? When you go to like shopping mall and you look out from the shopping mall, you can see someone who still needs some food. You can ask your question, why? Actually, it can be like the government management, but you can start from yourself, right? You can do your research which relate to the SDG, and you can help them from that as well. So we have many ways to help them from the SDG research, right? But however, we like classify for three kind of criteria. Economics, you can see the economics, right? Will be effect from somewhere, no poverty, zero hunger. So everything is affected to economics. If the economic is good, there won't be some disadvantage, surely, right? So the second one is the environmental. If anybody like help to save the world, like you don't throw any food to the road, to the canals, to the ocean, to the sea. So you can save some animal. It is under the sea as well, right? As well as you can help somebody who still need some water in the pipe, in the pipeline, that drink the water from that. Or maybe some of them they just drink the water from the canals or sea or river, something like that. So if anyone can help, can save, can take off the the food or the garbage from the river, from the road, so we can help them, right? So if you want to help them, the main things as researchers at the master degree PhD student, so you can do the research with which relate to the SDG. So we can do any SDG actually, right? If you want to drive the SDG, because SDG is a part of us, a part of the world already from you at the stations. So you can also see like social, right? Quality of education. Do you think it's just like equal or unequal? No, definitely no. Because some of them or some place in the world, there there is no like education from that, right? So if we are here, we have a good educations. How can we help them, right? So everything's if you can see food, educations, economics, environment, social, everything is related each other. We can help to drive this world better. So it means that if you like help them, if you do your good research, okay, you help them. But the most important thing, you have to be a good person. So if you're a good person, it will be sent to the next people, like your friends. If you're good, you can build a good community from that as well. So this is quite important that we have to realize that we have the SDG that we can drive the better world from this one. So as my perspective, you can do what you can do, right? But the first thing that you can do now, you can be a good person, right? You can send something good for the people. You can send some good feeling. You can send some good vision. Yeah, you can send everything. You can send your heart from that. Yeah, you can do that. So we start from like if you can see, you can start with the bottom right biosphere, from like animals, natures. We can start from that, and we can drive up to the society to build society. And after we have the society, we can build the good economies. And last one, yeah, we help each other at the 17th SDGs. So here we start with the biosphere, atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, right? If you can help the animals, if you can avoid to throw your food, your garbage into the water, into the road or something like that. or because we also have a lot of like research which relate to biosphere. You can also do from that as well, or you can do from the you can do your research from the like social society, like from the social science or something like that. Everything can be related to your daily life. After we have a good society, right, we can drive the economies to be a better ones. So now we are fighting with the inflations. If good enough, the inflation will be gone. But uh, you, as you know, inflation never be anywhere. It still be with us anyways. We just have to control to try to be a good, like good in economics, to reduce the inflation from that, as my perspective. So, so here we have a lot of SDG, right, which relate to any kind of subject area um, in the subject area in the Scopus or Synetics in Elsevier. So we just classify. You can see around this one from the SDG 1 to SDG 17. You can see the different colors from the right hand side with the different subject area. So this can you can read from that as well. So from now, SDG and research, right? As you can see, we have a lot of like research which relate to SDG 3. This is about the health and well-being. It means that is the first one that everyone realize about that. If you are not good in health, you can do nothing, right? So there is a lot of like how to say, there is a lot of articles that you can observe, you can find, you can search in Scopus in any of SDG. But I will teach you how to search from that. So this is the SDG from Thammasat, right? From 17 to 2017 to 2022. You can see the right hand side. You can see the line, right? The black line is the average of the world, and the red line is the SDG from Thailand, and the blue line is the SDG from Thammasat University. So you can see the high potential one of the SDG from Thammasat is Thammasat is will exhibit SDG performance from 8 from 16 of SDG, which are higher than average of Thailand and world, right? It's the SDG 1, SDG 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. It means that in the research of Thammasat University, they realized that this research which relate to SDG is quite important. This is quite outstanding from Thammasat, especially in SDG 12, is responsible consumption and productions. You can see this is a good one for Thammasat as well. So we know some from the SDG. What is the SDG? How is this important? How is this good? And from Thammasat. But how can we, if we have some manuscript, how can we choose a right journals and relate to the SDG? Or if you want to read some good article which is related to SDG, how can we choose from that? So we will learn together. But before that, we have to know the research workflow from that. So now, before you're doing your research, right, you have to have an ideas. After you have an ideas, right, you have to plan. Yeah, planning is quite important. And after that, you have to design. What you're gonna do first, or you have to design your experimental, that which example are you will like invest, or which example are you going to keep it, something like that. And after that, after you're doing your experiment, right, you have to write your own research. This part is important to you. But how to write, right? You have to know what is the main idea, what is the good thing, what is the aim of your scope area for your research, right? There will be step by step. And after that, after you write, you have to find, you have to seek which journal is will be good for you. Because after you have a manuscript, it's the hard part that you have to find the right journal to publish as well, right? And after that, for some of them, they have to promote and tracking. So we have to start with the ideas, like which topic is related to SDG. You you have to questions from that. That's my work related to select SDG. What are other researchers, university doing in the SDG? Or what should I read about the SDG and research? You have to question yourselves what you're going to do about the SDG. Okay, if you want to do any research which relate to SDG, okay, you don't have to worry about it. But if you want to know about SDG and your research, you have to think about it, and we have to publish. You, after you finish your manuscript, you have to ask yourself, right? What I'm gonna publish? Where can I push? Can I publish OA with this journal? Do you know OA? What is the OA? Open access subscription. Some of you may know, some of you may not know about this one. So I will explain what is that, what is the structure from that, what is the perspective from that. Okay. But anyway, we have to start from the ideas. Idea is the most important things when you want to do your research, right? You have to end in your minds with your ideas. Think about this and end it, right? Because if you go with your friends, if you go with your boyfriend or girlfriends, you ask them, what you gonna eat today? I don't know, anything. They say anything, but actually it's not anything. So you have to tell them, you want some noodles or pad kapao or somtam or something like that. They say, no, it's not, it's too much. Yeah, it's too high calorie, too high. But what do you want to eat? You just tell. That is how to end in mind. It's the same things. Like you have to question yourselves. What you gonna do for your research, right? You can ask your professor if you have like scholarship, right? You can ask your professor, professor, what I'm gonna do for my research. Um, okay, if you are lucky, they still have the like the topics for you. But if you are unlucky, they won't have any topics for you, so you have to find by yourself. So how can we find? We have to scope. We have to reduce your scope will be smaller to scope to to scope the strongest topics or ideas to be your research. First, you have to think about it. Think think a lot. But how can you think about it? If you don't know what you don't know, you die. You have to know what you don't know. You ask yourself, do you know this? Do you know this? Do you know this? Okay, if you don't know, right, you can write and search. But if you don't ask yourself, you don't know what you don't know, you die because you don't know anything about it. Even myself, you don't know about it, right? So first, you have to read it or question anything else you want. Think about it. Think what you're gonna do. Think which journal you're gonna send to, right? What scope area, what the aims that your manuscript has, right? Think about it. Step 2, after you have an ideas, you have to classify like. So this is the example for the topics, right? You have to classify the topics. For me, like I classify as inventions, mechanisms, or it's just an ideas, something like that. After you have classify for like 3 groups, for example, you just have to read about the articles and keep much as you can, right? After you read about that, after you read and read it a lot, and after that, you just choose what is related to your topics. For me, right, we have for invention, I have 6 topics. I have 6 articles. So when I read it, I finish reading, right, I will fulfill to my colors from the orange one, which is related to the topics. And then I will go to the second topic and do the same thing. So finally, I have like 6 boxes with the full fill of the orange color from here, right? And after that, I have like this topic, this topic, and this topic. So I have 6 articles. And after that, I try to build my research on my ideas. I link it each other, right? I link together. I link each article together, because when you have to write your own research, everything should be a story, because the editor will read your articles, will read your manuscript and analyze this article is whether suitable for his or her journals or not. So you have to write as a story. So you have to link each other. This effect to this effect to this. And after that, this factor effect to this. And finally, we got results from this one. So this is the criteria that we can do from my perspective from that one. And then step 5, we have to combine the final keys. After we have a good story, what is our topics from that? What is about, like, this is you can compare, like, the topic is the heart of your research, right? And this factor can be your arms, this one can be your leg, this one can be your hand. So finally you have to combine each other. So for example, right, from the Dragon Balls, we have like Goku and Vegeta. Both of them from the Saya planet. They're actually, both of them are good from the individuals, but when we fight with the bulls, right, are pink guys, are fat guys, they cannot fight from that. But they've questioned why we cannot fight from that, even we are good. But sometimes we know each other, we are good, but we are not good enough. So we just change from the good to great, right? We combine each other. They combine, right? And after that, we have like Gogeta or Vegeta, and they fight and they won. They won the pink guy, the enemies. So it means that sometimes you know what you're good at. Sometimes you know what this factor is good at. This topic is good at. But how can you link each other and combine to be a good one? This is the thing that you have to be think at as the idea. It's some kind of like literature review, right? When you have to read a lot and link what is its importance, link what is its the past or the previous research result, and build your own research, the strong one, right? This is how can we end in your mind with your ideas. This is, we start from that one. So, but normally, right, when you want to read or find some journals, first you have to ask yourself, a journal that is read by a colleague that is the same field, is it reaching your community? It means that when you want to read some journal or you want to send some journal, you can ask your friend, your colleague, your senior, your advisor, Ajahn, right? Yeah. Or sometimes you can choose the journals from the high impact factors, but don't forget the impact factor or size score. This number sometimes is necessary, but sometimes it's not necessarily much, because of what? If you send and you get rejected, sometimes you have to know what the journals need, because they will show you what it aims and scope. So if you just choose with the high number, but your articles or your manuscript is not related to the journal, they will immediately reject your manuscript. Yeah, and then you will be like sad, absolutely. So if you want to publish, the third thing that you have to look at it is this the fast turnaround times, because you have to know if you are like the last semester of the PhD or master degree, you have to know when you want to publish, do you have enough times to spend for publishing process? You have to look at which journal give us or give me a less time to proceed it, right? And a journal is just easy to find the web, that is it indexed in the Scopus or not. So you have to question yourselves. So I will walk you through how do you know which journal you should go for. Okay. Before that, right, we have to know the Scopus. I think everyone maybe know or may not know about the Scopus. Scopus is the scientific database for the abstract, right? Just only abstract, but okay, you can also read for the full text if that articles are the open access articles. So open access mean all of journal, right? All of the journal, you don't have to pay for reading it because the author has already paid from that. But the subscription, if you cannot read, it means that your institute didn't subscribe from that. So there are like two big kinds of the articles from that. So okay, just forget about this. We just talk about Scopus first. We just focus on the abstract first. Scopus is doesn't same as the Synalytics. Synalytics is a part of Elsevier. And Scopus is part of Elsevier as well. In Scopus, there is a lot of publishers here. It means that if you want to read some scientific data, you don't have to go to Google's or ChatGPT because you are not sure that it's the curate contents or not. You have to think about it. But if you come to Scopus, you will have the curate contents because we have a lot of publishers here from Elsevier, Synalytics, Springer Natures, Tyler Francis, Violet Blackwell, say, etc. So you can read any kind of the article from that. But the first thing, just only abstract. But how abstract can help you? As you know, the abstract there is there is some kind of full things that you may need, like small introductions, small methodologies, small result discussions. So you can find the context, the good context from there as well. It means that you can read a lot in like one page or something like that. These are good things for the Scopus because some of you may maybe not use Scopus as much as you just go to like Synalytics or Springer Nature, but I want you to know the Scopus is quite important because it's indexed every publishers in the world for the international publishers. So it means that you just come to read it first. If you want some more in detail, right, you can go to that publishers to read it. Okay, here. So in Scopus, right, we have like classify the big titles for each SDG. So you can see from this. If you want to go for the SDG one, you can go for the economics, econometrics, and finance, or social science. If you want to go to the like SDG 2, you can go to agriculture and biological science and environmental science as well. So it means that if you want to go some SDG, you can read the journal, some journal from this one as well. So it also supports like ebook from here. So this one is just show that which qualities, which word, which relate to each of the SDG. So you can click from from data.mendeley.com/datasets, something like this, and it will show if your article or your manuscript is related to this word. It will relate to each SDG, so you can read from that. So like if you want to have some article which relate to SDG, like SDG 1, right? Your article should have like no poverty or poverty or like lack of money or something like that. If you automatically link your articles, your contents to the SDG one. And so now, so how can we search in Scopus? You can ask yourself, I want to find some related to SDG and my research on my field of research, right? You can first, you can like open scopus.com. You can see this web page, these browsers, right? And after that, you can go to click from search from this one and click on the advanced document search. After you click it, you can take a look in the bottom of the right hand side. You can see the UN Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, from this one. You can click, after you click it, it will show the 16 SDG which you may interested in. After that, you can click from that, like, okay, I click the SDG one, right? They will show the search here, the qualities like extremely poverty elevation, poverty, something like that, right? So you can see, you can take a look. After that, you can click search from that. Okay, after you click search, you will have like almost 44,000 documents searches results here. You can take a look at, you can narrow your search here, as well as you can use your filter the results, because some of you may with just open access or something like that. But I just want you to know, if you're from like engineer or social science, just go to the subject area and click it, the subject area, and choose your field from that, because the SCC one can be related any subject area, like engineer, like social science, can be related anything. You can use the filter from the left hand side, right? The filter the result and click the subject area and choose your subject area as you want. Because if you are from engineer and you do the like the subject area as a social science, it's not like, it's not affect to your work, right? Maybe you read it, you are not understand because it's from social science or it's from like medical, something like that. So after you click which journal, you can come to this subject area and use your filters and fill it. And after that, you will get more uh, accurate the articles. So this one is also like provide patterns here. You can see the innovation that linked to the SDG as well. You can also like source the results here as well. For the newest date or the new ones, you can click analyze the result here as well. They will show which like this SDG is interested in or not, because some of you may just read it and just don't want to know and change to the other SDG. So if you come and show the analyze search results, you can find something like that. You can see which topic, you can see which subject area is the most in the SDG one. You can also see which is the top author from here as well. So after you click it, you choose SDG, you come to use your subject area, and you can click for the analyze search result. You can also see which author is the top author, so you can follow from that as well. So this is how to see, as well as you can click to read the information from that. Also, after you click it, they will show from this page, right? They will show the abstract from here. You can read the abstract. As I told you, how is this important abstract? Abstract will review the results in some information from introductions, aim, and result discussion. You can get the point and build your literature review from that as my perspective, right? And you can also see the journal. This is related to this document as well, because some of you how can I read for the next article? You can take a look at the right hand side. Then we have some the related document that you can read from that as well, because some of the journal is related to your topics, but you don't know where to read for the next articles. So you can take a look at the right hand side and you can read the article which is related to your topics from that as well. And you can also download the PDF for the full text if, as I told you, if this article is from the open access, it means that you can also read for the full text. But if you cannot read, it means that this article is as a sub subscription. Sorry, yeah, subscription. So you can read from that. But from my perspective, first thing, just read for the abstract, get some ideas, and if you want some more detail, you just go to read from the full text from that. You can also read from the metrics from here. The metric is quite important because if you read it, how can we trust, right? This article, is this good articles or bad articles? The metrics will tell you with the number. Okay, if it is the old article, but no one cite it, it means that this article is not good enough to read it. This is but the more you understand, right? The number is just a number, but the most important thing is the contents in the abstract or full text. So we talk about the matrix first. What is the matrix? Is it matrix? No, it's not the same, right? Matrix. So in matrix, does anyone know matrix? Tick tock, yeah. Actually, the matrix can be like anything, but we talk about the scorecard matrix here in Elsevier. For the scorecard, we have the journal matrix and we have the article matrix. We have to separate because when we want to send the manuscript, what we have to realize is the journal matrix. But if you want to know that is the good articles or not, you have to read the article matrix. It's different. The article is the bigger, the journal metric is the bigger, the article metric is the smaller one. Okay, we will go to this. So now we navigate to the scope, but to understand the article level metrics here. So if we talk about the article metrics, we talk about like citations. I think some of you may know about like citations. If you read the good journals, the number of the citation should be high, and the number of the FWCI should be high as well. FWCI is the field weight citation impact. It means that if field weight citation impact is compared with the average of the world, if it's FWCI if it FWCI is equal to 1, it means that your article is in average of the world. If your FWCI is higher than 1, it means that your article is higher than average in the world. Is the lower is the if the number of the FWCI is lower than 1, it means that your article is lower than average in the world. It mean that you should not read the article. Okay, you can read from that if you need some contents, but it cannot be pointed as a good article or not. But anyway, what you have to know or you have to realize is the content inside. And the third one is the prompt X. Prompt X is some kind of like the things that will tell you which is a good article or not, because it will show about the capture, usage, mention, citation, or social sharings. We can see from the number from that. Okay, we start from the citations. Yeah, I think some of you may know if the number of the citation is high, it means that this article is good. Even one citation, yeah. Okay, you got one. It means that when you publish one journal, you can get one side. Yeah, you can imply from that as well. But the important things that you have to be realized about the citations is some of the people, they try to pump it or increase that citation by self-citation. It means that if you publish, you can cite yourself for the previous work. But anyway, you can explore, because we can explore in the scope, but we also show which is the uh, how to say, include cited self citation or exclude self citations. You can explore from that, but from your master degree or PhD or something like that, I don't want you to realize about the number much. The important thing is the context inside of the articles, because you have to read a lot. Okay, if you are a researcher, if you want to track your article, that is the good point. But if you don't want to track about that, you don't have to worry about the number of the citation. You can also read like the other things, like you can take a look at more metrics. You can track this article, which year that was sized from which one. You can see which year from this one as well. And the next one is FWCI. Yeah, we call for field citation impact. As I told you, if the number is greater than one, it means that your article is tight more than expect or average of the world. You can also see the length here, percentiles. Some of you may know about the percentile or quartile here, right? But some of you may not know. The percentile is reflect to the quartile. If the percentile is around 99 percentage to 75%, it will reflect to the Q1. If the percentile is below 75 to 50, it will be reflect to Q2, and after that Q3 and Q4 respectively. Right? You have to know about this Q, right? You have to know about like Q1, Q2, Q3, because some of you, if you are new with the research and like you are just begin like for the first semester for your research, and as somebody talk about like Q1 is some kind of like position in that field, right? Like if your room has 100 persons and your grade is around like top 10, it means that you are Q1. If your grade is top 25, it means that you Q2, something like that. It's the same thing, right? But because some of you may have to send your publication in the Q1 or Q2, and the journal will show you with this percentile, it's a Q1 or Q2. Q1 is the 99 percentage of the percentile to 75 percentage of the percentile. Q2 below 75 to 50%. So this will be help you to understand about the quartile. And you can compare the previous citation from that. And last one for the article level metrics, you call like prompt X. So the prompt X will reflect to the how good the articles is, right? So here is the color of the prompt X will show the green one as a usage. The file one with the captures is mean that Russia reader, and mentions from the yellow ones. We can talk about like comments, and the blue one is the social media. This article was shared to the Twitter, Facebook, or something like that. And the last one is the orange one is the citations. So it will reflect, if the number is great, it will reflect to the size of the of the prompt X. This is how the example is, right? So if you talk about like target and effective use of the state and non-state social fund. So if you click into the prompt X, you can see the citation is 5, the reader is just 4. And you can see how big the color is. If you can see the prompt X, they show just only two colors, the orange and violet. So the other color doesn't show is mean that the the usage captures, oh sorry, usage social media and comments that doesn't show up, just only citation and captures, right? You can take a look from this. So if you have another like usage mention or social media, it will appear with the different size of the prompt X in the right hand side. You can take a look. So here is the example, like for the example one, for the first one, you can see in each color it's the same one, it's the same size. It means that um, all all things or all colors will be reflected to the size. It means that all things that has been used, like captures, mention, social media, citation, usage. So you can take a look from that as well. So if you take a look at like for the second ones, right, you can take a look at the color of the citations. There is a big citation, big capture or reader, but small click or download. Just only like little from the green one. You can take a look from that. But the last one, if you take a look at the blue one, it's quite big. It means that this article was talked in like in some of the social media, maybe a hot topic in the social media. But we cannot see the yellow one that mentions or comments. But it's maybe a good article which just has been talked in somewhere else in Twitter's, and is also like it was cited by some article as well. You can take a look at the orange one. So this is like how we call the article metrics, right? We know like citation, FWCI, and prompt X. When you read it, you can decide if you're gonna read this article or not. It can help you prioritize your article, because if you have like 100 articles, you cannot, maybe you, if you don't have time, you cannot read for 100 articles, right? This number will help you prioritize with journal, or sorry, with article you have to read first. It can help you for the articles. So now if you have like manuscript and you want to publish, how can I know which journal should I go for? So like this guy just stand up and, hey, I want to find the target journal for my manuscript. How can I know from that? First, if you talk about like first SDG, there is a lot of like articles. Oh, sorry, there's a lot of journals here. You can take a look. You can go to like subject area and choose what I have what I told you, right? You can use the filter, and if you click into the sort of titles, if you look at that, you can see the name of the journal of the SDG one, and then you can choose the journal from that. But before you choose, every time I want you to realize that you have to read the aim and scope in every time, because if your manuscript is not related to your journal from aim and scope, they will be rejected you immediately. Because I was found from my experience, because I don't read about the aim and scope and send it, and after that just reject me in like half an hour, because my articles, right, my manuscript is not related to the research field, because I didn't read. I just read the top research topics. Okay, it's maybe related, but if we get back to read the aim and scope of this journal, it's not related to my article. So okay, yeah, I waste my time. But anyway, you can try to send it. Okay, if you take a look at the source here, right? In the middle, you can take a look to read the journals. Okay, so now, okay, we know how to find the journals, right? But now we're gonna find the target journal for your manuscript. First, you have to go to the Scopus, right? And click the source. I want you to memorize that the source here means journals and books or something like that. If you click source, they will show this page, right? You can take a look. You can see the source title here, right? It's like topics and size score and highest percentile, citation, documents. So what is the first thing that you have to do is go for the subject area and choose the subject area of what you've come from. Like if you're from engineer, you can click like engineer. If you're from like social science, you can you can choose the social science here as well. Because if you are from social science and you send to the engineer, it's not reasonable, right? Okay, you can use the like journal ranking or source type here as well, because some of you may need to send to the top journal, like show the only title in top percent, like we call tier one, or Q1, like quartile one. You can take a look, or you can use the filter here to reach your journal precisely. Okay, after you click it, right? Okay, this one, I click the subject area and I shoot agriculture and biological science, miscellaneous. I click it, right? Because when you click in the big topic, they will also have like the subdomain topics. You can also click it to filter to reach your field. This one I click like agriculture and biological science. You can take a look that you also see the source title. You can take a look to read for more detail. And you can take a look of the journal level metrics here, right? Size score, SNP, or SCR. You can take a look of percentile rank or research area as well. Because if you take a look at this, you can see the percentage. If you show it will reflect to the quartile what you want to submit or not, and it will reflect to the subject area in your area or not. You can see from from this one. The next one is the first thing that you have to understand the research metrics. It is the journal level metrics. Before this, we talk about the article level metrics. It's about the citations, like it's your own research, but journal is bigger, right? Article level metrics we call like citation, FWCI, and prompt X, right? But this journal level metrics is referred to the size score. But how can we know what is the size score, right? Size score itself is an average of the sum of the citation received in a given year to a publication published in 4 years, divided by the sum of publication in the same 4 years. It means that citation in 4 years divided by the documents in 4 years. If you show the number of the citations, it's easy to calculate, right? This is the metrics from the Scopus. And the second one is SNP, is from the University of Leiden, right? It's SNP is called like source normalized impact per papers. The SNP accounts for a few specific differences in citation practice. It means that it compares with the another journal in the same subject area. So you can see the calculations here. The journal citation count per papers divided by the citation potential in its subject fields. It's take account in 3 years. And lastly, the Symego lab. It's from the Symego. I think someone knows about this. The SCR is from Symego Journal Length, right? The SCR is a measure of the scientific influence of the scholarly journals that accounts for both the number of citations received by a journal and importance or prestige of the journals where the citation come from. It means that if this journal, it means that different journals will have the like the weight citation with the how this journal famous. something like that. So is how to calculation is the average of the weight citation received in a year divided by the document published in the previous 3 years. So if you go to the Scopus, if you show the different length, if you go to SJR, if you show the different length, so some of you may question why is this not the same? Because it's count the different. I can say that. However, the Samigo is used like citation or the data from the Scopus because the Samigo is powered by Scopus. So this is the journal page. After you click the journals in the like sort and you just choose one, right? You can see this journal page. You can take a look at the journal names here, like ecosystem services, something like that. Scopus correlate years. But for the metrics, right, we can see the right-hand side, the size score there. An average in ecosystem services got size 11.7 times as an average in 2020. You can take a look from that and imply, right? From the SJR, the citation weighting depends on the subject field and opacity of the economic is 1.7 times better than other journals. It's the same as a SNP, right? So it depends on you what you want to use, uh, which uh, journal level metrics to compare. But however, if you need some percentile, right, we use the size score and length from that one. So we just show that we had the other metrics that we are not biased. What you want to choose, we just show many one as you want, right? I want just you to realize from that. But anyway, the number is not important much. It is only the size score or impact factor. No, it is the mainly the right audience. That's I told you. As you okay, you can see you can take a look at this journal or you want to send because the high number of from that. But you have to ask yourself, is this related to that journal or not? You have to read aim at scope to be a right audience from the editors or reviewer. You have to think about that. Just not only a number of size score, just not only a number of impact factor, this is how can be a right audience. Aim at scope is important because when you go to the journal homepage, right, they show the aim at scope. You have to read it and you can take a look from your keyword on your abstract, which is relate from your manuscript or not. If it's not relate, please don't send because it will waste your times. But you can try to send, but I'm not sure like this will be accept for read or not to the editors. Yeah, what you have to know, you have to learn and scope, accepted types of the articles, readerships, current hot topic or something like that. But how can what we know, like what I'm gonna send to if I don't know about Scopus much, but you can go back to your reference and you can look at that. You can look at the reference. They will show a journal from that, right? So article in your reference will likely lead you to the right journals because you left this, you left this, you left this from this journal, from that journal, from that journal. You can keep the journal name and submit to it. But don't forget, don't submit in two journal in the same time, just only one journal. The system will reach out to you and warn you, you will be rejected for both of them and get observing from that. Yeah, you should not send in two journals in the same times because the system will reach out to you and know what you are doing. We do not accept the journal which is sent to the same the two journal in the same time, because you have to be worried about it. Just send, okay, if this journal is reject me, okay, you send to another one, you send to another one. We cannot do it from the same times, right? So if you take a look at this size score from the journals, right, you can see how does it calculate from like 21. You can see, take a look from this. You can also see the size score length, right? You can take a look at, like, this is one, the ecosystem services. It is in the agriculture and biological science. You can take a look. It's rank number 2. The percentile is 98. It means that this this journal is in the Q1 or tier 1. It's also stay in the social science, as well as from the geography and planning, and the development as well. So it means that you can choose which one is good for you, which one is the top one. You can save this page and send to the funding, to the funder. Yeah, and show that, okay, I published in the Q1, and this journal still in the scope path. You can take a look at the scope path coverage year. You can take a look from that, right? For next one, you can also have to take a look on this one, size score rank and trend. You should take a look of this. Okay, if your article is reject, right, you can take a look from the number 3, because it shows the article is the number 2 ecosystem services. It's rank number 2, right? But there is still have the other journal is in the same field. So you can send or you can submit in the number 3rd, number 4th, number 5th, or number 6th. You can send it from that as well. Because sometimes, right, you got rejection and you don't know what to do next, right? Okay, you can back to take a look of your current journals and see what is the next one. You can send this from that as well, because they will show a good percentile here. If you take a look at this one, this journal is number 2. Is out of all 119 journals in agriculture and biological science. Ecosystem services is ranked number 2. Therefore, it has percentile at 98 as a Q1. Because some of you ask, like, what is Q1, Q2, Q3? You can take a look from this one, and you can have to like look at the size score trends, because some of the journals, the size score trend is going down. So please don't send to that journal, because some of journal will be de-indexed, or it will be removed out in the scopus, because journal don't have any uh, continuous, like the editors doesn't show any potentials to index in the scope anymore. It means that you don't have to send to that journal once again. Just take a look that if it increased in a single year, it means that this journal still in a good quality to send it down. So you can mention about yourself and ask yourself, okay, if I have so many options, what should I do? Which journal should I go? How is this difference, right? You can question yourself, because, okay, this journal, okay, good, good, also good, but how can we know, right? Okay, in Scoper, right, we have the function that can compare of each journal from the metrics of the journal level metrics from the size score, um, SNP, and SDR. So you can go to the first page at the same times, right, and click into the advanced document search. And after that, you can see on the right, on the top right, you can see the compare source here, right? You can click it. And after you click it, right, you can see this page. Okay, this page, what is this? You can see this page. This page, there is like sort titles, limit to something, blah, blah, blah. You just click the sort title and you click like poverty if you want some SDG one. For me, just type poverty, and after that, I click to the all subject area. So click search, and after you click search, right, they will show you here at number 4. They will show you the journals that show which size score that they have, and they will show the comparison from this one. This one is on the y-axis, right? They will show the size score. For the x-axis, they show the year from this one. Year and size score. And you can compare from this one, right? And after that, you can also select the journal with the comparison with the journal level metrics as a SAR, SNP, size score, or yeah, some kind of that. Okay, for example, right, I click to every journals and compare. This one is journal year and citation. Which one is good? We can say like blue, right? Because blue is show the high potential and outstanding from the other ones, right? So the blue is show like high citation. Then actually we can go and choose from that journals. But what about this? What about document? Okay, blue still show a good potential that a lot of authors come to publish in these journals. As you can see of each year, right? Documents and years, they still show strong a number of the publications in these journals of each year until now. So what about like journal level metrics? You can see size score blue is like us, so outstanding, step blue outstanding, SJR blue is outstanding. So actually we can summarize from that the number or the graph show that this blue journal as an infectious disease or poverty is the highest one. So we can send from this. But before we send, we have to back to read in the M and others because it's quite important from that one. Because some of the people that doesn't have time to read it, but it's the more important before you send the article to the journals. The editor will read it and reject you if your article is out of scope. So, okay, you know what the journals, we know SDG, right? What is SDG, right? You know what Scopus has? Scopus has a lot of uh, curate contents as an abstract around the world. You know the journal level metrics. You know the article level metrics. You know how to compare, right? Okay, before you submit, what you have to know, right? You have to ask yourself again. As I told you, okay, you can compare from what I taught you, like lot a couple like 5 minutes from that one. You can ask, actually you can ask your advisor, your colleagues, your friends, your senior, something like that, right? This is where to publish, as you know. Or you can go to Scopus and put the titles, or go to source and find your subject area from that one and search what you want from that one. Or, okay, there's a lot of articles from your search, from your source, or you can compare at the advanced search and compare source, and you can compare. But anyway, first, you have to ask your colleague, your advisor, your ajahn, yeah, something like that, right? This is like what I want to tell you. And before you send, right, you have to read the aim and scope is quite important for you, right? Because why I realized I try to emphasize this aim and scope because it's quite important. I don't want you to waste your time because as and my experience, right, I publish and I sent to publish. I got rejections, and the reasons from the editor is your article is not suit in our journals or your article is out of scope because of why? Because of I didn't read any aim and scope. Because some of you may question yourself, why do I got rejections from editors? Because sometimes your articles, right, your manuscript have to relate to their journal, and the editor will list as much as possible which this journal is related to that journal or not, because they don't want to waste the reviewer times. As I can say, okay, it is journal still in scope, but this is one that I want you to realize once again. Every time you want to send to publish, right, by submit, you have to keep this page. You have to go to the scope bus and click the source and put the journal names, the source title, something like that. And you have to go to this page. You can see the journal names, right? And you can see the scope bus coverage here. It should be some year, any years to present. If it doesn't show present, it means that this journal will not index in Scopus anymore, because as I heard from your institute, your article should be indexed in like Scopus or ISIs, etc. So you have to be ensure this journal still indexed or somewhere that your funder needs to be indexed, like Scopus or ISI, right? Because there is still some case that they didn't check this Scopus college year, and finally this journal is the index, and they cannot like carry it or go to defend from their committee because this journal is not indexed in Scopus anymore. Yeah. Or you can read it or download it from the source titles in the Scopus as well. You can download it and see which journal is still in the Scopus or not. Okay, for the next one, right? We can also use the Synalytics to check the journals, and you can also click from that one. We can also click the journals, but you have to go to the Synalytics journal and books. And after you click from that, you can put the journal names, and you can take a look of the journal page, home page. This will show aim and score from this one, and click to see aim and score from this. You can take a look from this one, because some of you, okay, Kunwin, you still say and scope. So how can I check? You just go to check with the publisher of each journals and try to find the about and guide for author and read and scope. You can take a look from that. You have to read the guide for author as well, because some of the journals, they use the different patterns from the different publishers. So please read the guides in every time, because sometimes they may reject you from that reasons that your article is not in our pattern, or you don't prepare anything for us, so we have to reject it. It's sometimes like that. So you have to come to read the guide for author first, and NSCO to prepare a good article from yours. Okay, time to submit, right? When you're ready to submit, you just have to click and submit from that one. Click login, and you can register from that, or you can use your advisor ID or password as well. And after that, one thing that you have to be worried about it, publishing in the new journals, you have to beware about the peer-reviewed journal, because if you read it and some of the journal try to invite you publish, and it is a new journal, you have to be careful. It will be the peer-reviewed journal or scammer that will be invite you to publish and tell you, okay, if you publish with us, we can give you articles in online in like 1 week or 2 weeks, and then but you have to give their money like 5,000 or $500 to publish, but finally they are gone. Your article is lost, so you lost everything. So I don't want you to waste your time. So you can go to check your journal name in the Scopus, or you can go to the buildlist.net in the middle of this slide. You can see buildlist.net, because this websites can help you to analyze, or can help you filter the predatory journals that is not in the real journals. So the good manuscript should be what it should be like. First thing, contain a scientific message that is novel, clear, useful, and exciting. Because one of the reasons that editor will reject you that your article is unnovel, it's not novel enough, it's not new enough, it's not clear enough, they will reject you. Yeah, this is a good one. And you have to convey the author that thoughts in a logical manner such that the reader arrive at the same conclusion as the author. It means that when you write something, it should be logical message or contents, because some of you may write like a cycle, right? Like a circle. You write this, and when it pass like five five lines, you write it again. It's the same things. So it's not logics, right? So you have to make sure you plan how to write. So the third one as you have to make the editor feel like she or he has learned something useful. Because if the editor reads that, it's not new. It's, there is nothing from this one. There's nothing that we can help the world or something like that. So it will be reject. Yeah. The fourth one, that the reviewer and editor can easily grasp the significance. So if you read it, how can we find the significant thing? So when you write something, right, it will show, you have to show the significant thing that it means that, oh, okay, for example, right, when you write something, this result can significantly show or significant effect to this result. That's something like that. I just show the example from this one. So you have to show something that significance enough, because if the reader read it and they cannot get anything news, should they accept it? No, right? So the last thing is your article should not be long, should not be too long, because if you read something, it's not like it just it it's it it doesn't have any contents from that, right? I can say like, oh, you read it, but it's not necessary. The the most important thing is the last line. So it doesn't make sense, right? You just choose, or you just use your one sentence that means anything. You shouldn't like write something unnecessary contents, right? Just cut it from that. So how to be success, right? Contents presentations is a good one. So yeah, that's I told you, make it easy on the editor and reviewers to understand your story. Because once you write your articles, it should have like a person's or something. For example, right? If you read like a Harry Potter or something like that, it will show you which one affected this one, which person affected which persons, right? So this is things that I want you to understand, which is the good manuscript. So the walls begins here. After you have made your manuscript, right? You try to walk and pass this guy into the living room. This guy have a source. This guy have a axe. This guy have like a lot of things, guns. So you have to prepare the questions from that, and I can trust you. You can pass. Yeah, Thammasat is great university. I can say that. You can learn a lot from that. So this is a process that after you send the after you send the the articles, your articles, they will send the submit process, right? They will send to the editors. The editor will read your article, which is suit or not suit or unsuit, something like that, right? This is your article is in our aim and scope or not? It's yes. Okay. They will assign the deliverer and send to the reviewer to give some recommendations? If no, they will reject you immediately. That I told you. Why do we have to realize about the guide for author, about the aim and scope? It's quite important. And after the and after the reviewer gives some recommendation or comments, right, they will send back to editor, and editor will decide that it will go for rejections or it will go for the revisions. So there are two different type of the revisions from the major revisions and minor revisions. If good enough, they will go to accept immediately. Okay, yeah. First thing, right? First decision, accept or reject it. Yeah, it's very rare, but it's happening. Yeah, some of the articles were accepted. Wow, you sent us. Everything is perfect, but like 0.5%. It's hardly happened, I can say. But 40 to 90% got rejection. Yeah, but what you can do? Don't despair. Don't be cry. Don't be sad. Try to understand why. Straighten out a rejection without peer review. Consider review advice. Be self-critical. You have to think about it and keep the comments from the reviewer and build your encouragement and try to solve what reviewer try to comment to us and change it or rewrite it or restructure your articles. Because as my an experience, right, I got rejections like 15 times in a single articles. But first time I I almost cry because like my first submission. But how can I do? I can't do anything. I just break myself for 1 week, and after that I just realized my professor said that don't be despair. Don't do yourself like that. Just stand up and face the problem and think about it. What the comments that the reviewer try to comments and keep that to the to you as an experience. So what we can do? Yeah, we can do from that. And yeah, the reasons of the rejections may be like poor research qualities. Yeah, as I told you, it's not novel, it's unclear, it's not useful for manuscript uh, development, because sometimes we read it and we don't understand the structure. If this one result come first, introduction last, it's not logic, right? For English language and grammar, yeah, because yes, some of you are foreign student, you make good in English, but some of the country or like Thai student, right? They are not good enough. They will reject it. But however, in uh, in Israel, we also have like the the group that we can help to 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 look at the English language, but you have to pay for it. It's a little bit like expensive. And I recommend you can ask your advisor to scan your article first. Yeah, as I told you, it's not the right journal choices. Aim and scope is not fit your article enough to understand, because the editor will try to seek the best of fit article in that journal, because as I want to share is the nowadays, right, there are like 3 million articles was sent in a single year. A lot, right? They have no times to like look at in every articles. Okay, they just try to scope the article which is in M as scope much as much much as possible, right? I can say that, yeah. And the journal has recently published in similar works there, because when you write something, if it's not new enough and some of the journals that were published before you also get rejections. Yeah, nothing new in the work presented. They will reject you. First, you have to realize aim at scope, novel or new and useful enough. The editor will read, oh, it's okay, it's good enough, and then send to the reviewer. But if you pass for the first step, it not guarantee that you will get published 100% because the reviewer will get back to the editor comments and see how many reviewer uh, try to give the recommendations like this article should go to revise or something like that, or this article should go to rejection or something like that. The editor will get back the recommendation from the editor and decide which way should go for rejection or revision. Yeah, I can say that. So you have to managing a rejection set. The significant percentage of the papers are rejected by editor on submission without going through the review. Yeah, it's quite sad. It sounds when you listen to this, it's quite sad. Because of what? Because of article is not out of scope or article is not ready enough. It means that you didn't read any MS scope, you didn't read any guide for author, you don't read anything. So they don't have much time to try to like to restructure your articles. So you have to be ready enough before you submit. That's what I can say. Yeah, don't take it personally. Is that not is that not necessarily mean the paper is not a good one? Yeah, I can tell you your articles may good enough, but some comments can help you improve yourself. Some comments may improve your article to be better one. I can say to you like your article can be good, but you can change to be good to great. You can change from that, right? Sometimes good is not enough for high high quality journals like top one or top tier one or something like that. You have to be real right about that as well. Yeah. Okay, if it's not suit to you to this article, you can find another journal to publish. Why do we care about that, right? We have another journals to send it. So don't panic, right? Don't be desperate or don't be cry, don't be sad. You can be sad in the first journal, yeah, sure you can, but for the second time, third time, you have to be you have to be strong, right? Stronger. So this is what lead to acceptance, right? From Nigel John Cook's editorship or geology's reviews. So we can call like attention to details, check and double check your work, consider the reviewer comments. English must be good as it possible. Presentation is important. Take your time with the revision. Acknowledge those who have helped you. News, original, and previously unpublished. Critically evaluate your own manuscript because some of you, right, try to capture some word or some sentence from the other journal and use your own. You cannot do that. You will get plagiarism from someone else. You have to be paraphrase or doing something with that sentence and change to your own sentence, your own word, and give the reference from that because they may right reject you because you have high how to say uh high percentage of the like turn it in or something like that. You can check in the turn it in first before you send to publish in any kind of journals. Ethical rules must be always, yeah, you have to be obeyed with the ethics. Yeah, this is the contents that you can always see from this one. We had a lot of journals about like SDG, the definitions. You can take a look from that. But the good the good tunes from this one, right? We call Elsevier Journal Fighters is quite important for a person who are seeking to publish the manuscript, the Elsevier Journal Finder Helps is a free resource which allows researchers to find the journal that could be uh, best suited for publishing your scientific articles. It's some kind of like if you have manuscript, right, but you don't know where to publish and you're lazy to seeking in the Scopus. This platform is quite good, right? You just put you just put your titles here and abstract and put your keywords and fill up the research here, right? Put your titles, abstract, keywords, field research, and after that, right, you will get the results from this one. It's quite good, right? You don't have to be search function, but this just show all the the publication of the elsewhere, right? They doesn't show any other publishers because it is the Elsevier journal finders. You can filter the size score, time to first decisions, and publication type. There are two publication types here. Open access and subscriptions. Open access mean we call like Go or A. You have to pay everything since you tend to publish, right? And until it's online, you have to pay for for the publishing process. We call APC article publishing charge. But the reader will be freely to read. It means that everyone in the world can read your article. And the second one is the subscription. It means that you can send to submit to publish with a journals who show that they are the subscription model, and you don't have to pay anything for that, but the reader have to pay for it. It means that if you don't have enough money or something like that, you 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 spend money, you spend a lot of money with your research or thing like, and you don't have much money, you can go to the subscription. It's a free free publish, right? I can say. And the open access, if you have enough money, you can go to publish with that because everyone in the world can read your articles if you give a chance for reading to your articles. Yeah, you can refine from that, and you can sort it out from the results from here, like best match, size score, impact factor, acceptance rate, and after that you can take a look. This one is the most important part. This is the journal's details. You can take a look on this one. If you show like size score, impact factors, acceptance rate, time to first decision, time to first decision is quite important that you can help you to plan. Like if this semester is the last semester, okay, you have like 4 months or 6 months. 6 months mean like 24 weeks. And time to first decision will spend time with the first editor in 3 weeks. And you also have time to like spend time with the reviewer or something like that. This can help you to prioritize your your daily life. I can say that. Yeah. So if you click it, you can read some detail of the journals here as well, like MN scope, guide for author, etc. Like important details. So the last one is researcher academy. It means that so everyone's here, right? Everyone here in Thammasat can freely learn in any course in elsewhere. So you can come to learn about like fundings, research data management, or if you don't know how to write, you just go to fundamental of manuscript preparations, writing skill, book writings, or you want to know about the open science, open access. You can go to the publication process, open science, and you can learn from that. If you have time, this is a good tool that you can learn things from this about the research life. Yeah, you can know. I can say that. Yeah, for this is for example, right? We just click for fundamental of manuscript preparations. If we click it, like they will show in the right hand side, start learning. There is a YouTube, like a YouTube that you can learn from that. They will also show the another tools or another topics that's relate to your interesting. Uh, you can look at that. So this is the last session that this is a Q&A sessions. So if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me. Just any question from that. But anyway, if you have time, just Pete do the survey for me, and you can put the sorry, the passcode and get the certificates here as well. So if you have any questions, just like speak out to me or just type in the chat box so I can answer. So we still have time, like 10 minutes if you want it from that. Any questions so far?
Okay, Min, now you don't have question yet. After that, you can contact our library to ask questions if you want. And maybe today we done. You can see our presentations for today in our YouTube channels. And thank you for everyone to attend our seminar. I think we done right.
Yeah, I think
So,
thank you. I think yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone to join our workshop. I think it's quite important. It may help you a lot or not. I'm not sure. You can, if you don't understand now about what I can talk or I talk too fast or something like that, you can go through on each slide. And if you have any question, just email to me or email to the librarian. They can help you. The librarian is a like smart person, so you can reach out to them with Kun Mei here. So thank you so much for today. So if you have any question further, you can reach out to me. But anyway, just stay safe and take care of yourself. Yeah, it's quite hot. Be careful about like stroke. Yeah, don't stay like don't don't stay like around the park there because it's quite like hot now. Yeah, stay safe. Thank you so much.
thank you, Kun Win, very much for really useful information. And don't forget to fill certificate survey to our library and Kun Will as well. Thank you for your all.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Goodbye. See you next time ค่ะคุณวิน
ครับสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ